Hey there, Kim Rimby with KP Math again. And hey, I wanted to bring up something that I talked about in one of my previous videos. Want to get back to this idea that our students have some very fundamental number sense ideas that we start working on in the earliest grades. And it would really benefit us to continue helping kids make connections as they move up through the grades. So here is a card I've shared with you before, and I asked you to guess how many dots are on this card. Right. And when I do this with adults even, I'll get anywhere from 30 to 80, right? And so it's really hard to tell. You're just kind of taking a guess. But let me show you a card that has the same number of dots. And now you can instantly say, 53, right? This is the idea that I want to get to today, that there are ways for us to help children learn how to identify quantities without having to count by ones. Way too often when we say a number like 53, our children envision this as opposed to this. And we want to help them put together this idea of subitizing. Subitizing is instant recognition of quantity without counting by ones. And that starts in our earliest grades. Right here, you can see I have a 10 frame, and right now it has um, five tiles on it. And if I just put some more on here, my hope is that as I'm working with students, they can instantly see this is seven rather than having to go back and count one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. If they can hold on to the idea that this is five and two more make seven, the 10 frame helps them do this idea of subitizing. There are many ways to work on subitizing, instantly recognizing quantity. The 10 frame is one that is ideally suited to being able to use 5 and 10 as benchmarks. And so if I showed a child this, my hope would say that they could just instantly see that's four. And I ask why, and they say because it's one less than five. Or if they see this, my hope is that they would say, oh, this is nine. How do you know? Because it's one less than 10, or it's four more than five. And so we want them to get to this point where they can instantly recognize quantity. That's called subitizing. So if I get this filled, my hope is that they can see that this is 10. That's the point of a 10 frame, right? Five and five is 10. They can cover it up. And now it's one group of 10, still 10 ones, but one group of 10. And here's the magic. And here's whatever tool you're using, whether you're using snap cubes or base 10 blocks or any other way to help kids visualize groupings of 10. This to me is the next level that is so important. Right here, just like when we saw five across the top of when we were talking about the ones, here you can see five across the top, and you can instantly see that that's five groups of 10, right? So that's 50. And if you have one more group of 10, it's 60. Or if it looks like this, how do you know this is four? Four groups of 10 or 40? Because it's 10 less than 50. Or how do you know this is 90? Because it's one group of 10 less than 100, or it's 50 and 40, or it's 100 minus 10. But we're still using that idea of subitizing to instantly recognize this quantity. And then once you get one group of 100 there, or you get 100, 10 tens is 100, we can group that into one group of 100. So again, regardless of what tool you're using, if you're using snap cubes, if you're using base 10 blocks, if you have a way to have a nesting tool such as this, highly recommend you help your kids visualize and work on subitizing no matter what number set you're working with. Will have multiples of these and we'll work on subitizing within 1,000. And then we shift over to a sketching model, which I'll show you in another video, where we can work on numbers up to 1,000,000, up to 1,000,000,000, using this notion of 10 frames and helping the kids see groups of. So again, when we give this children a number like 53, we don't want them to be seeing 53 individual things. We want them to see that this number has a structure. It's five groups of 10 and three extra ones. right? Here we have 53, 5 groups of 10 and 3 extra ones. And when we get up into those larger numbers in fourth and fifth grade, it becomes incredibly important that our kids understand this, because when they get to 350,000, we want the kids to be able to see that this is 350 groups of 1,000. And we have 3 groups of 100,000 and 5 groups of 10,000, right? And we're getting into that multiplicative idea of place value. Again, another topic for another day. But this is the same skill. What we're doing in those earliest grades grows up as we move up through those grades. And this is absolutely critical for your children to really be successful and become young mathematicians as they start seeing math as relationships and their number sense increases.